Guys, it's Barry from the Badass Band Leader Show. So you have to be asking yourself, what am I doing out in the middle of the woods wearing a dorky bicycle helmet? What's this all about? I was out riding my bike, and this is one of my favorite places. I'm out in the woods, in some woods close to my house, and as I was riding, I got to thinking about why I was doing this, and so a little background. So in this show, I'm going to talk about why physical fitness and staying in shape is so important as a band leader, as a musician, as a singer, whatever you're doing. Obviously, it's important. We all know that. But I want to kind of relate it to us as band leaders and why it's so important. So, little backdrop this morning. So I have been working on this marketing funnel now for about a week and a half. If you don't know what in the world a marketing funnel is, I'll definitely be covering something like that in a future episode. And so basically it's this idea. It's kind of like a website, but it's multiple pages, and the idea is that we're doing it to sell tickets to our shows. And so the idea is that you sell a ticket, and then right after that you try to sell them a t-shirt, try to sell them a CD, stuff like that. And so you're upselling people through the process and make more money on your ticket sales. So I've been using a software called ClickFunnels, which I've used a lot in the past, but I haven't used it to sell tickets before. And what I have discovered it's been over a week, is it's taken me way longer to figure out how to do this, how to sell multiple tickets, multiple upsells, all this kind of thing. It's been a major pain in the ass. So I worked on it last night, again, until about 11 o'clock. I felt like 98% done, and then I got up this morning and I was messing around with the PayPal portion of it, and I couldn't get the PayPal portion to work, and I was just like pulling my hair out. I was so frustrated. And so here I am yet again working for hours. We're doing some kind of construction or something's going on in the woods here, so that's why we've got trucks in the woods. It's kind of weird. So I was working on it this morning. I couldn't get PayPal to work, and I was just like getting stressed out again. And I just sort of stopped right in the middle of what I was doing. And I thought, you know what I should be doing right now is I should be exercising, because that's what I normally would do in the mornings, right? And I do enjoy going out for a bike ride. It's easy. I can just leave my house. I'm just exercising right from the time I leave my house. It doesn't take a lot of time. And now it would have been really easy for me to say, nope, I've been working on this for a week and a half. I've got to get this thing launched. It's taken way too long. I mean, I've hired people to help me with it, and certain people I've had to go on and find like extra software that had to go along with ClickFunnels in order to make it work. I mean, it's been really just a pain in the ass. So I could have used that excuse to be like, you know what, I need to get this done, but I didn't do that, because I felt like, you know what, if I use that excuse, I could use that excuse for a lot of things in my life. There's a lot of things that I need to get done for the band. I've got shows this weekend that I need to promote. I've got a big show in another 2.5 weeks that I really need to get started on that. And so it's almost this matter of juggling priorities. But, if we allow ourselves to do that, where do we draw that line? Because taking 45 minutes to take a break and to get on your bike or to go to the gym and just put the time in, put the exercise in, get some fresh air, get your body pumping. Because we live in a world now where it is very easy, especially if you work on marketing or a lot of different types of businesses. Well, you'll sit on a computer for hours on end. And I don't have to tell you what's bad about that. We all know that, especially the older you get, the more you realize it. It's terrible for your back. I've definitely experienced some back problems. Our guitarist, who's young and very much in shape, he spends a ton of time on the computer. He has problems with his back, and we all know it's because we're sitting down all the time. Obviously it's horrible for your circulation and all that kind of stuff. So it's so important to get out and work out. But now, in the bigger picture, as a band leader, we do have a responsibility to our band, to our fans, to ourselves, to our family. If this is how we're making our living, or if it's how maybe we're making decent money, or maybe that's not what drives us. Maybe it's just we have a dream that we're pursuing. And if you're not physically fit and as we all know, that can certainly lead to you get sick easier. It drives your immune system down. Then you're not able to play gigs. You might have to cancel gigs. Or if you have like a major health problem. I mean, I know a lot of musicians don't have health insurance, right? And I've also seen those same musicians have really poor health habits. They'll eat bad food. They don't, can't remember the last time they exercised. And then they find themselves in a situation where, God forbid they have a stroke. That actually happened to one of the guys in our band, not when he was in the band, but years ago. He actually had a stroke. Thankfully, he survived and was able to recuperate. But, or other problems, maybe, end up with type 2 diabetes or something like that. And, it's just a problem that compounds itself, because if then you're unable to work. You probably have to go to the hospital, maybe go in for surgery or something like that. And then you have this long recovery time and you're not able to play. Maybe you have to quit the band, or you have to take sort of like this leave of absence for a while. I mean, if you're a band leader, that could be an absolute disaster, because who's going to lead the band, right? Or if you're a key musician in a good band, but you have to be out of the band for 3-6 months. I mean, I listened to an interview with, I think it was one of the main guys in the Doobie Brothers, and he had some kind of bad health problem. They were at the pinnacle of their career. I forget the guy's name. I'm sure somebody will think of it. And he had some kind of health problem. And again, I don't know if it was lifestyle related, but the issue was he had to go into the hospital. He couldn't go on tour. And Michael McDonald was actually just their keyboardist. Well, McDonald stepped into that role, and we all know the end of that story, that Michael McDonald became their main guy. And so that guy he kind of saw where it was going, and he quit the band. I mean, that was the Doobie Brothers. So, but again, staying physically fit and having the mindset that this is going to be a priority for you it's critical. And, and we can get into, I'm going to go ahead and go here because I do think it's important. You may not want to hear it, but, our physical appearance as band leaders, especially if you're the front man or the front woman in a band. I mean, let's be honest, people judge you by that. If you're really out of shape or really overweight and you're fronting a band, I mean, people judge. It's just the way things are. But if you're like really in shape or just in a normal shape, I mean, it's not distracting to the audience for one, but certainly we all know it can certainly be a great asset if you have it. We had a lead singer in our previous band that we were in. It was in this wedding band. I mean, he was like cut. He looked like a Chippendales dancer up there, and it certainly didn't hurt. I mean, the ladies, he was eye candy for the ladies, and but I don't know that should be your motivation. I mean, it's a nice side benefit, I think, but as especially with me, as I get older, I just realize it's really more for it's like a cheap health insurance, right? And it also helps with your energy levels. Obviously, it helps with sleep, all that kind of stuff. But, staying in shape and looking good from the stage is certainly a great benefit. So that's really kind of my thoughts on there. So I just wanted to, again, encourage you to make exercise and fitness a priority. There's really no excuse anymore. I mean, gym memberships, you can get a gym membership at like, what's that place called? Crunch or something like that. I mean, there's these places that are out there that have built in these strip malls. The memberships are $10 a month. And we've belonged at those places, and they're really nice gyms. I mean, it's amazing. I don't know how they make money, but they do. Anybody can afford $10 a month. And these gyms are huge. And then, but even if you don't want to do a gym membership, I mean, I bought my mountain bike that I'm out here riding today at Target for $50. I mean, I saw the price tag on it. I thought it was a mistake. And I've had it now for about 6 months. I ride it a couple times, 2-3 times a week. And so far, it's, for $50, it's been an incredible investment. I'm sure it's probably going to break sometime here soon, and I might just go buy another $50 bike. I don't know. But, and that's something, again, I could just ride it out my door, and I can go, I get physical fitness as soon as I ride out the door, and it costs me $50 one-time fee. So, figure out what, the thing is with physical fitness, if you hate to run, then don't run. I mean, I really enjoyed riding bikes and stuff when I was younger. When I was in my 20s, I did a lot of mountain biking. That's why I kind of wanted to pick this up again, because I really enjoy it. So there's things that you can do. Start small. Just go for a walk. Anybody can walk, right? Hopefully you can. And you don't have to walk a mile. Walk a quarter of a mile or whatever, and put on some music that you enjoy and go out there and just start small if you have to. But make physical fitness a priority now, because if you keep putting it off, you've got sickness and disease and all that kind of stuff in your future. And with musicians, that's bad news. And with band leaders, it's especially bad news. So I'm going to cut this off. Hopefully this has been of value to you. And we will talk to you soon.